Hi, welcome back to Raunchy Reality Recaps, and in this video we're going over Andrew Glennon and Amber Portwood for MTV Teen Mom. Now, in our last video we went over that Andrew filed a petition wanting to, suspend her visits. Now, in their custody battle, apparently Andrew was awarded to go move back to California, and then they have to alternate flying out, Andrew going to Indiana and then Amber to California. They alternate that each month. Now, apparently, I was hoping in the last video that Andrew wasn't being petty, because he did have a history of being petty in the courts and bringing up things that are, it's just, we don't need to involve the courts for this. This is ridiculous, basically. So I was hoping he wasn't, but apparently he was being petty with this. With most things, I will say. Now, I got all this from LB, and she, I think she got it from Ashley's Rally to Roundup. So I went over to Ashley's, that way I can have it right in front of me. Now, Andrew, apparently, this is what his, court statement or court document said, was that the petitioner genuinely fears for the minor child's safety and respondent's care, and believes that it would endanger the child's physical health and well-being and significantly impair the child's emotional development for the respondent to exercising parenting at this time, Andrew told the court 6 weeks ago. Now, he also stated that if petitioner believes that it is in the child's best interest, or in the best interest of the child, that the response parenting time with the minor child to be suspended immediately pending further order of this court. Now, they recently had their court hearing, and apparently this is what happened. The minor child had a busted, bloody lip, Glennon wrote. Said the minor child became hysterical. Amber began yelling, and Amber immediately terminated the video call with Andrew and refused to respond for an extended amount of time to his numerous inquiries, including phone calls and text messages as to what happened and what was going on. Afraid for his child's safety, Andrew says he went to pick up James around 1:30 a.m., prompting a meltdown by Portwood. In her official response, Portwood defends herself by stating that James suffered the sort of accident that befalls children on a regular basis. A 5-year-old jumping and biting his lip on a video call with his father is not an emergency, Amber said. When the child injured his lip, the mother terminated the video call to tend to him. During this time, the mother missed phone call from father. She returned the call and spoke with the father 2 minutes later. In his original filing, meanwhile, Glennon wondered whether or not Amber had been bathing James during the visit, given that he developed a painful blistering rash on his backside. He stated that Portwood became very aggressive with Andrew when he inquired if the minor child had been bathed while in her care. Amber replied in her own filing that the rash formed because James had not been wiping himself after using the bathroom. She also blamed Glennon for not sharing with her that the toddler was unable to do this. The final reason... okay, let's just go over those two. So, okay. Andrew is being ridiculous. The kid fell. He hurt his lip. It would have happened whether it was with his mom or with his dad. Maybe the dad would have been like, stop jumping on the bed. But, come on. Kids hurt themselves. He was called 2 minutes later. He was called back after he missed the call. And then she called back and spoke to him on the phone. Like, there's records of that. They can pull the record. So I'm wondering if he's lying about that, because if he spoke to her after she called him back and everything was explained to him, and he still showed up at their hotel, I guess, at 1:30 demanding to take the child, that is absolutely ridiculous. That is not an emergency. She is still a parent, and he's looking really petty right now. So petty, if I was Amber, I'd be using this against him. Okay, I'd be sitting there be like, I don't really even like Amber, but as a mother, if he would have done that to me, no, okay, you really you really think this is okay, then I'm going to use that against you. Since you want to use every single little thing against me, we're going to use your actions against you, and we're going to go back to court, and I'm going to get more custody. That's exactly what I would do, because that is utterly ridiculous. To show up on the little bit of parenting time that woman has, and to sit there and to freak out over a normal accident for a 5-year-old, that is utterly ridiculous. And this other one, a back. Of course, a 5-year-old, most 5-year-olds know how to use the bathroom on their own, know how to wipe and everything by then. Okay? So you should have told Amber if that wasn't the case. I mean, I know she doesn't take care of the kids all the time like that. I mean, yes, she should know, but I mean, if you look at how his age is, most people would think he would be able to do that. And if she doesn't take care of him on a regular basis, she would. So, yeah. I mean, that's on you too, Andrew, for not getting him potty trained by now, okay? If he has different developmental disabilities, I'm not sure. They never say anything like that. But if he did, that's one thing. But it still need to be communicated with the parent that doesn't have him most of the time. And it's still on, a little bit still on Amber too, because yeah, she should have, maybe asked her kid about that, if you can. I don't know. Like, I personally, I don't understand how it got to that long. Like, was the kid just doing it good by then, and then just one weekend he didn't do it good, and that's when she noticed? But, here or there, it should have been communicated. And so let's go over, let's keep on going. Okay, so the final reason Andrew gives for wanting to suppress Amber's parenting time with James is that Amber was drinking alcohol during her with James. And Portwood simply said that she simply had one drink at one meal, and any notion that it affected her behavior is preposterous. Which, I mean, I kind of get this point, because Amber does have a substance history misusage. I don't know what we can say on YouTube, but Amber has a history with it. Whether it be alcohol or something else, something harder, she still has a history with it. You have that little of a time with your kid, don't do that. I mean, you shouldn't. Why are you worried about it? You shouldn't have a worry about it. And I think she's on medication too, so I mean, you got that to help you out. You don't need the alcohol when you're only spending a little bit amount of time with your kid. And that's not even for anybody that has substance issues. Like I was saying with I put out a video on Caitlin and her issue with her mom Amber and drinking, I'm sorry, not Amber, her mom April, and drinking at the reunion with Carly, and her brother came out to say like everybody else was having drinks and it was just one beer. I mean, but that goes on both sides. Like, yeah, April shouldn't do it because she has an issue with it, but also, I mean, y'all with Caitlin, why didn't you just tell everybody, hey, let's not do it because I want mom to be involved and I don't want to have to worry about her looking at drinks all night, so she doesn't have to drink. I mean, it's a reunion. It's a special moment. It's a time with your kids that you hardly get to see. Why do we need to drink something right now? That can hold off until the time that you're not with your kid, which is a whole lot more than the time that you're actually with your kid. So that's what I'm just saying about that part. Like, she could have held off on that. She could have waited until she went back home, or after their son left with his dad. So yeah, I do get that, being worried about that, because it always takes that one thing with the people that has issues for it to turn into something. So anyways, let me get on about that rant. So apparently they have more court hearings ahead of this to determine and everything, but I just think it's really silly. I really think a lot of this is silly. Yeah, the drink, I see his concern, but having your kid fall and you want to rush to go get them, that is just petty ridiculous, and that makes you look like you're just being vindictive in the eyes of the court. And then the thing with the rash. It should have been communicated better. Y'all need to communicate better. I mean, it ain't that hard to say, hey, you need to help him wipe his butt. I mean, come on. He's a kid. Sometimes it happens. Some kids, most kids do learn by that age. But, if they have some kids, it's harder for them. But still, it should have been communicated between both parents. He should have been telling, and she should have been asking at that point. So, it just looks like this is a mess. They both need to grow up. They both, I mean, I will say Amber has done a lot of growing up, but Andrew needs to grow up too. Okay, because it just shows he's petty in my eyes now. So I had hope for you, Andrew. I had hope for you, but you lost it. So anywho, y'all have a great day. Like, subscribe, and share. And if you want more information, longer videos on this, go check out LB. She definitely, in which you probably know her already, because come on. Who am I kidding here? I only have like 500 and some subscribers, and she's like 70,000. So yeah, you probably already know her. But if you definitely want more longer information and everything, and we're talking about it, go to her. She, unfortunately, I can't spend that long. Unfortunately, I gotta spend like 5-10 minutes, and then I'm getting called out. So yeah. I just don't have that much time, so I wish my videos were longer, but they're not. But hey, I'm here for y'all, all y'all that like the information quick and in a hurry. So y'all have a great day. Like, subscribe, and share.